This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
That's a good framing, Allegra. I like it.
Hello and welcome. This is a regular meeting of the Communications Committee. It is October 9th, 2025. The time is 6:32. We're starting a little bit late today. We had a couple different technical issues and things like that, but 2 minutes late, not bad. So this is the call to order. So the first item up.
Don't we have to do voice attendance since Allegra is...
You're right, we do have to technically do a voice attendance. So we have Ed.
Ed is here. Lou is here.
Chris Martin is here. Allegra.
Allegra is here. Yep.
Excellent.
Esther's here.
Esther is here.
Kate's here.
Kate's here. Excellent. We have enough people to have a full quorum.
Where's the speaker?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was loud.
So first thing up is the approval of minutes. The minutes came in earlier today. I'm going to propose that we table them until next time because I haven't looked at them. Ed concurs. So Allegra, we'll deal with them next time. Thank you very much for getting them in. We'll just handle it later. Next item up is public comment. None of the public is here, so I think we can skip right through that. Education training. Anybody have any of that?
I have 2 training items.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. So I had 2 separate committee meetings this week. I met with Cheryl from the EDIC to do some basic training, to talk about setting up email addresses and stuff like that for the committee. And we also discussed, going with digital minutes and everything else, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point in this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a meeting with Lori Carver from the Agricultural Commission. We did training on Facebook. We did training on some website stuff. We did training on using chat AI for putting together text. And we talked about, what to be cautious for on that and everything else. So two different training sessions.
Excellent. Yeah. Anyone else? No? Okay. Yeah, we probably will get into the digital minutes at some point. Open committee seats. I have not heard anything from anybody that there's any interest in it. So we still need to sort of figure out what to do there.
It did hit the paper today.
Hit the paper today.
The monthly request for volunteers.
So
yep.
Where would you find someone who has AI background?
In Belchertown.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we're searching for right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I suspect there have to be people out there, given our proximity to the colleges and universities. We just need to put the word out there that we're looking for you.
Center also, our big computer operation in Holyoke, one of the state buildings. Anyway, go ahead.
But they don't necessarily have to be versed in AI to join the committee. Like we have 2 open seats.
Yeah, we have 2 open seats.
That's what we're searching for, I think. Is someone with some
That's what we would like, but it's not a deal killer.
Yeah. It'd be very helpful to get somebody who's like more of an expert. But honestly, even just somebody who uses it like a couple times a week, something like that, or knows a bit more about it, or is a little more research or whatever into it. Like, great, that would be very helpful. But they don't have to, right? We could take the help in any way possible at this point. But yeah, I guess the question is, how do we fill those seats and how do we reach out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be person to person, versus the ad in the newspaper or something personally. But
do we know if there are any rules against like going out on our own and advertising anywhere? Like,
no, you can totally talk to your friends and neighbors.
Like copying the same thing that the town does, or copy the blurb for the communications committee and like posting it our own on Facebook, or like taping that up somewhere.
So I've posted a number of things about the communications committee on Facebook. As you recall, like I want to start highlighting the different committees
Yep.
that have openings in order to try to get more people to join. So I would totally take some of the stuff that's already been posted, which is the same verbiage that we've looked at that's in the Sentinel now, and go ahead and share out those posts.
Yeah. And that's my assumption is that it's totally fine, but I figure it's
Absolutely.
worth asking and reminding everybody that there's stuff there.
Are you saying you're gonna do a Facebook post for our position?
So we already have a couple Facebook posts on the town's page
Right.
for the communications committee.
Right, but not specifically for an opening, right?
No, it is. They're saying we have openings, come
Okay.
join us.
All right. Okay.
So take those and share them far and wide, talk to your friends,
Okay.
neighbors.
All right, cool.
I'll talk to both of my friends.
They also your neighbors. Yeah, I guess we gotta get out there and find some folks, but that's the volunteer effort all around town is in dire need. So, let's move on to AI and Belchertown Government. So we have a bit of an update. I don't know if other teams have updates on this since 2 weeks ago. Okay. So we ended up meeting with the team from Pitt from UMass, with them, Steve Williams, Kevin Hannon, and spending about an hour and a half talking about
Wow.
sort of what we're looking to do, how we want to group up. I think we spoke about this last week around what we wanted to do.
Mhm.
And that was, they would come in, they would do a couple workshops with us, help think of ideas for us. We'd do some employee surveys and conversations with them, and they would help us come up with technology solutions, including AI, but not necessarily AI.
It was supposed to be a mutual benefit thing.
And a mutual benefit thing that they didn't have any case studies of actual work in towns,
Yeah.
and we're an actual town that needs the work.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a free, you do this for the group of that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Which is awesome, and so we had the meet with Steve Williams and Kevin. I think the meeting went exceptionally well. It seems they all know a lot of the same people in the same circles when it comes to UMass and things like that, because we're trying to do other stuff with them. So I believe the last I heard is it's a thumbs up that it's
Kate,
one of these two.
No, Kate, you sent us that text.
Yeah, so it seems like it's a huge thumbs up. So there's a meeting here in town on Tuesday with UMass Chancellor, tours and all that other stuff. And I know that they're going to be bringing up this AI partnership that we're working on.
Yep.
So
This is a total aside. Is this a BCTV thing?
no, it is not.
It's not.
Okay,
They are doing their own press.
never mind.
So yeah, I think what we decided is it would be a little ways out for everybody to make sure that we're prepared and ready for things. I think we said February 2026
February, yeah.
is when we would finally have a meeting. I'd love to do it much sooner, but they're busy professors and everybody's got work, so it's going to take some time. I believe the idea is going to be to first have a 3-hour session with a lot of the department leads and key people that will first start off with a little bit of education around first why we're doing this. We want to make sure that we're informing people we're not looking to cut jobs, we're looking to cut work.
Our time for work.
Right, exactly. Make it so that people can go home on time and things like that, and relieve stress, and make our overall process a lot smoother. And then also kind of break down some of the barriers around AI, while also educating folks, right? Because I think there is a little bit of both that's required there. That it doesn't necessarily need to be completely avoided and shunned, but you have to use it right, otherwise there are going to be some terrible repercussions.
So this is February 26th.
2026, yeah. So not February 26th, February of the year 26. Yes. Next year, this coming February, yeah. And then followed by some actual like discussions with the different people and like discussing like, okay, what are pain points within your role in your department, you know, identifying where technology and stuff can sort of help ease those issues. And then coming back together and coming up with some potential solutions to those things. Followed by further working sessions and whatever else is needed at that point.
So that's step one, and then we grow.
And then we grow. Yep. So, you know, it's up to the crew at Pitt to decide if they're going to be running it. They've also thought of making this a class assignment, bringing in some of their students and have them, you know, help out a bunch with this stuff. You know, even, you know, whether that's part of the teaching process or part of the evaluation process, or even part of actually building out stuff for us. You know, we'll see what comes of that. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a really beneficial opportunity for us.
Did they give you an idea of a time commitment that they can do on this thing? In other words, school started in February.
Yeah.
So they're back in class.
Well, that's actually why they moved it to February. We were talking about early, and it was too soon. They wanted to do it during January. That's intercession. So they felt February was a much better time to do it for a number of reasons. My concern is that is a long ways out, and I'd like to keep the momentum going. So what I'd like to do is talk to the team and see if they can have some students do some research on case studies where AI and technology is being integrated into governments in an innovative way, and start to assemble that information so we're not just sitting here waiting until February, because you just lose momentum, you lose focus. And I would like to definitely keep it moving.
Well, you can start from square one again by February.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Well, so the other thing that is happening is we still have not met with town council on on the AI town policy.
Okay.
Right. So that's later on this month. I haven't checked my calendar, but that's going to be later this month. We're going to be talking with them, having a chat around the policy that they already drafted, the issues that we have with it, and try to get a new draft out of that. So that is something that is happening in the interim, and hopefully is going to be able to be spread throughout the town or the staff and whatnot.
To Ed's point, I was wondering if there are towns around us that are they're using AI even as we speak. Would it be worth talking to them?
that's what we're going to look into. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? So we want to do some research on what people are doing around us. I mean, from the little bit we've done so far, no. And I would talk, I mean, towns like us, you know, I'm sure Worcester and Springfield, you know, they've got efforts going.
Yeah.
But the real thing is for small towns like us, the Leverets, the Pelhams, the Shutesburys, things like that. And that's where we'd like to position ourselves as a possible leader in that, in helping other communities by being a pilot, a test bed, which UMass likes a lot, you know, using us as a living laboratory. This also plays into several other things going on. At the Chamber of Commerce breakfast last month, the chancellor announced a new initiative where UMass, and I forget the name of it, but UMass is going to work more closely with communities, leveraging their expertise and knowledge and abilities to assist the communities, which is, I think, what's driving this meeting next week with the chancellor. That's why they're coming out here to discuss those sort of things. It's also another thing. The governor has, you know, announced what she calls the AI hub. And the headline here is to make the state a global leader in applied AI innovation. So for Pitt, all of this gives them kind of cover for doing this, because right now they have no budget for this, they have no plan, they have no personnel. They would have to reallocate stuff to work on this project. But all that sort of stuff, it all plays into things that are going on in different arenas right now. So it's a good planet aligning moment to do projects like this. I mean, UMass is really excited about it. I mean, that was our reaction. They even brought a fourth faculty member out here. So 4 faculty members coming out to Belchertown, you know, for a meeting.
There's a $120,000 meeting.
Yeah, right.
So I think it has really, it's going really well. I think we just need to keep the momentum going on it.
Yeah,
You know?
great.
So are you asking Pip to see if they can put some students together who will do that research for you, as opposed to you doing the research? Got it, okay.
I want to get them engaged, have some skin in the game,
Yeah, okay.
you know, and they could probably do it far better than I ever could, you know. So
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
and Steve's very this is important to Steve. He's very much on board with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's about it with the AI issue. 5 or what 6?
It's moving in a whole nother direction than we started, but it's moving.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, it was like we need to do something, figure it out, and now it's sort of like, all right, well,
It has a life, it's moving.
we've brought outside help, professionals are here. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully something big comes of this. Although it will be, I think, a little bit slower than we'd like, but you know,
Boy,
it's the way it goes.
government and academia.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly, like the two slowest. Okay, so let's move on. Keep things, like I said, keep momentum going. Communication plan. So I talked with Jen Turner and Lisa Lazard Pearson, and I mentioned this to them. We were at the Lake Wallace Festival, which was an excellent event. I'm going to throw that out there for a minute. That it was,
We missed you. You must have come late.
I was there for a long time, but I was chasing my kids around, so I was here and there and everywhere. So I ran into them there. I mentioned the communication plan. They had both seen it previously. It was sort of like what is your thoughts about it? Do you remember it? They both did say send it again, so I'm going to do that. And but they both recalled that it was very like wordy, very heavy. That it was, it didn't have the like Marcus said, it doesn't have any like the actual tactical stuff into it yet.
Okay.
But we were also like, well, we don't know what that's going to be, and they're like, yeah, we're not sure either. So like it's or they have ideas, but like that fit into there, they're not sure. So again, I think we need to just send it around, force them to give us some answers and figure out what they need. But I haven't done that yet. But I get this feeling that the communication plan as it stands is just, and I'm sorry that Mark's not here, is just like too thick. It's tough to read.
Too dense.
Right, it's too dense, yeah.
So, but the game plan is to have the town approve the plan?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, we expect revisions and rewrites and.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's great what we have so far. Like, if you take the time to read it, it's an excellent plan. But it reads like a college textbook. Right? So like
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But we have that habit in general, not just on this committee, but in general in town. We always really elevate our speech. And that's one of those things as we work on becoming more accessible is we have to make sure that
Okay.
our written documents are being written to like an 8th grade level so that way they're accessible to more people.
Right. Yeah. That was something that actually came up in a warrant discussion, which is up next,
Well,
is that we need to meet a 8th grade reading level on those things. So
Also, you try to cover every base, you cover a lot of paper.
yes, yeah.
If you try to cover everything, you cover nothing, really,
So I think we have to eventually take another crack at it, but we'll see what these responses will be. Okay. Any other questions, comments, thoughts on that one? We'll move forward.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think we're good to move forward.
I want to get out of here at a really good, reasonable time. So enhanced town warrant. I'm tired of speaking. Kate or Ed, you want to take that one?
Try to.
we had a meeting this week. This week?
It was this
It
week.
was this week.
That's right.
100 years ago and this
Yeah, I
week.
know, just the other day, actually. With Steve, Kate, Melissa, Lisa, Chris, me,
Terry.
Terry. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
To discuss the idea of enhanced town warrant. Everybody likes the idea. What it comes down to is just the nitty gritty. What does it take to make it happen? And it's not going to happen for the October meeting at all, special town meeting. This is a plan for May, having it ready by May. Where was left is I'm going to talk to Ware and Munson just to learn what the moving parts are that they need to do to make it happen. And the whole thing about it too is it's not additional work that has to be done. It just has to be done on a different time scale. Right now, the deadline is whatever, 2 weeks before town
10
meeting,
days, yeah.
when it's all
which is
due.
impossible,
Instead, what we want to do is create a structure where things are backed out in terms of, okay, you have to have yours in by now, finance committee has to vote by now, select board has to vote. In other words, identifying all those benchmarks so everybody knows what they are and everybody can work towards that so that we can then have an enhanced town meeting packet.
But there are certain parts of the town warrant that are standard, like the first up to the budget.
Yeah, there's boilerplate that's every year.
And CPC has pretty much got their stuff done way before. So there are certain parts of the warrant that will be done early already.
Right.
But it's a question of just organizing it so that not every year it's a scramble to assemble this information into a document. And the key part of it too is once the select board votes on the warrant, it can be posted immediately. And that meets that legal requirement of it has to be posted 14 days before. The packet that we're talking about can be done on a different schedule. So once they approve the warrant, if they approve the warrant, I'm just picking a number, a month in advance, it can be posted then immediately. They've met that legal requirement. Now we get to work on the packet, which will include the warrant articles, but include a lot more information in there too. How the board's voted, the amount of money that's involved. The other key part of this too is the budget process timeline, which Steve's going to talk to Jill about to learn more about what that timeline's like. Because so often it comes down to the 11th hour in terms of the actual numbers that have to be in there. So they want to see if that can be massaged a little bit. So it's not at the 11th hour, and making that happen. So the reaction was very positive. Moving parts, I'd like to think we're starting early enough so that May, we'll be able to do this by May. With the understanding the first year is not going to be perfect. It'll be a learning process. But then hopefully after that we can have a template you just plug stuff into.
Yeah, so, Ed's gonna work on reaching out to Munson and Ware to learn more about their process. But Melissa's also going to go and kind of see how things happened in May, look at our history for our most recent town meeting and understand that this is when this committee sent you this information and when we have this information from accounting and all that other stuff too, to see what happened in May, and we can compare to how other towns are doing it to kind of learn from there too. And then we had discussed meeting shortly before Thanksgiving as kind of this is what we've learned, what are our next steps. That way, as we get through the holidays and everything, we have things to be goaling towards, because they're going to start submitting budgets and everything else, which is essentially the kickoff of the town meeting. So
sounds like people are going to have to change their timelines though to get business done. Right?
Yeah, so that was sort of the pushback against all of this was that the select board has to approve this 10 days before. And
is
it's
that a legal requirement or is that a town requirement?
So that it is a legal requirement. They have to have it approved 10 days before, and but that's the thing is that at minimum, and we kind of pressed them on that.
So you could do it earlier.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, well, then meet 15 days and give yourself more time. They're like, well, but then that has to be approved by the board to meet before then, and then it pushes everybody else's timeline back because they have to get things in sooner. And it's like, well, yes, but
they tend to want to wait to the last minute because of money items and because of
that was the big thing is the finance is just making sure that the numbers were all the latest. But like at some point you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're cutting up all your time to get all these things done, and then we're making the packets at the last minute. And if you're making them at the last minute, then you're going to have what we've had the last few years, complaints from all the townsfolk that they didn't have enough time to actually read these packets, digest the information, see the financial numbers in it. And that's, ultimately what we're trying to solve here is getting all of the information to the townsfolk with enough time for them to make an informed decision.
Which would be what in your mind?
Ideally, we said 2 weeks. We'll settle for a week. But we would like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks gives plenty of time for not only people to look into themselves, but start to share the information and really find out whatever, have conversations, right?
Yeah.
Cutting that down to 1 week, a little less time for that, but it's still, they'd be pretty informed.
And
right?
it's better than walking into the town meeting and getting it there.
Right.
It's better than that. In my conversations with Ware town manager and town clerk, they love this. They did it 3 years ago. They will not go back. They said this helps tremendously. Streamlining the town meeting, cutting down on discussions. They just said it just works.
And
so
we should like cutting down on discussions asterisks, like, because when you say we want to cut down on discussions, like that sounds like trying to limit civic engagement, but it's essentially moving the civic engagement so people have more time to be engaged.
When I say cutting down discussion, okay, what's this $10,000 for? Blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And that would be in the packet. That would be explained in the packet. So you don't have to take time up on the floor of asking the question, somebody having to get up to answer the question, things like that. So when I say cut down on discussion, I mean, that's the sort of thing. Not to cut, I don't want to cut down debate. I want to encourage debate. But now they have information to debate with.
Exactly, and I totally agree. Words matter, so we don't want someone taking that soundbite from you
Sure.
and saying we want to cut down on discussion at the town meeting,
It's too late.
because that would be catastrophic.
It's
So
already in there. We cut it out now.
Do you want to throw in for the record some of these suggestions that we made for them to add to this packet?
Sure, it would have the actual warrant article itself. It would have how all the relevant committees voted on the warrant article, such as select board, finance, if it's a CPC, if it's a school board, all that sort of stuff.
Which I'm going to jump in and say, that takes up time at the meeting as well, because they have to go, what the finance committee reads all that stuff at the meeting. If everybody already knew that, would we have to do that? I don't know if that's a state requirement to read those or not.
Yeah, they do have to read the.
they have to read the warrant, but you don't have to read how people voted and everything.
Yeah.
So if it's already in there, which it isn't,
So
then
we
that's time
also-
to skip.
We also discussed putting in there who put in that warrant article. So whether it's coming from the police department or the highway division or something like that, so people are aware of that ahead of time. And then also putting in if it's a majority vote or a 2/3 vote, so people see that ahead of time too.
I mean, for the particular warrant article.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
the
that
way,
particular
like the way Ware does it, it's like, select board, 4 yes, 1 no, 0 abstain. That's how they list the votes in there, all that sort of stuff. It would also have explanatory text in there or narrative. Laypersons, this article is for buying a $30,000 truck for DPW, boom. Which Steve writes already anyways for the select board when they're reviewing the warrant article. So that he's doing that stuff. And all of this is stuff that's being done anyways. We're not creating anything new other than putting it into a document and creating a process, and creating a schedule and deadlines and benchmarks that everybody can shoot for instead of, okay, this has to be done 10 days before. The only deadline it seems right now is this has to be done 10 days before town meeting.
And we're going to print this out or make it available online.
That was another thing that came up for me. Yes. Sorry to cut you off. Because I'm excited about this one is yes, it would be available online. But it also has to be made available immediately at the same time. So somebody could come in and ask for one. We'd have to print them out a copy or have one ready. But we've also convinced them to look into printing costs so that they're not printing the thousands of papers, thousands of versions of the 20-page document on 2 printers in Infinity House.
Oh, okay.
Because they constantly run out of ink and overload the system and put all kinds of wear and tear on those machines. Wow. They're going to actually think about going to a professional copy house.
Which we can do with this process because we'll have it in advance. They're doing this printing because it's coming down to the wire. And this is their solution to
printing it in-house.
To burning out printers, So hopefully by this we'll have a much better structured process that everybody knows what has to be done when, and we can plan for doing
But you're
it.
right, it's gonna take a few years before it gets really smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But everybody was on board with it. Melissa, Terry, Steve, Lisa, everybody was on board.
And we did have a second meeting afterwards to kind of talk about logistics at the special town meeting, and I did take a few minutes to talk with Ben Farrell, our town moderator, to let him know that this was something that we are working on to make sure he's in the loop on that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What was this? Did he like the
He thought it
idea?
was great.
Excellent. It's slightly off topic, but that brings up another point that was made up in that meeting is the people like you do the BCTV ask about all the different questions, right? Is it BCTV does it, or like you, Lou, that does it?
Him and Peg.
The
do it.
shorts.
Him and Peg do it, the shorts.
Yeah, the talk to the person, yes.
Yeah. They said that, I remember somebody mentioned that they love those.
They love those, but they want them in smaller bites.
What does that mean?
Even shorter.
Shorter, so like, you know how like you break it, like, we had like 3 people talking,
Yeah,
and granted, like that town meeting, it was a huge agenda.
okay.
But they want them, so instead of having like the interview with the select board chair on 15 topics,
Okay.
like do them in like little 3-segment things, just break them down even smaller. So like you could just do one recording, but then just
Chop it up.
chop it up.
Okay,
Yep,
I'm with you now. All right.
Yeah.
You know,
bite-sized pieces that they can share with their neighbors on topics that
240
interest them.
characters, that's it, that's where we are
Quick
these days.
Facebook share. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any questions on that or anything else? It's been really quiet on that from the folks online. Okay.
Yeah, Esther's just leaning on her hand there, staring at the computer.
I mean, actually, I can add, Kate sort of started to mention, we might try for October. We were talking about ways to get more information out to people who are there present. We might try short videos of our like explainer video and make some new ones, kind of like a pre-roll ad at the movies that could play at the beginning of the meeting.
So that's something that Esther and I did have a side conversation about. You're right, and we're hoping to start that in October, kind of just letting people know that, you know,
Give
this
the
is,
clicker back. This is how you abstain. A lot of people were confused by abstaining because you just don't click anything.
Robert's
Yeah.
rules.
yeah, little things about Robert's rules, and just kind of like have them up on the screen and reeling through as people are there, like a reminder, like if you have to go to the bathroom, check out and leave your clicker. Yes, you can drink your water in here.
Oh, and like actually have it running during
beforehand while people are coming in
That's
and
a
getting
great
their
idea.
seats.
That's a
There's
wonderful
popcorn
idea.
back in the-
Yeah.
And it's great to start in October too because it's the auditorium and if it's awkward then it's only so many people and we know not to do it.
That's
Yeah.
great, that's a lovely idea.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that's great. I like that as well. Okay. Anything else? Moving on. Gateway signage. Mark is not here. I don't know where he is tonight, but he is running that project, so I think we're going to table it.
Well, let me just
Oh,
say
never mind.
that we did contact the CPC, and we are not eligible for grants that way.
I didn't
Oh,
think
no.
we would. It didn't fit.
Gotcha, yes.
Yeah, but it was suggested, we followed through, it turns out we're not. So the signage will not be available to be funded by a grant.
Okay.
By the CPC.
Okay.
So, are you guys looking at fundraising? What are you thinking about doing? Do you
Right
know?
now, we're not doing anything. We
Okay.
just- We got that information and we're sitting.
Sure. So we had, when we had a branding discussion during the select board meeting on Monday, we talked about fundraising. And there were some questions around that, and I did a whole bunch of research, and I sent it over to Steve today, that I can certainly share with you and Mark if you think that might be
Sure,
helpful.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, please. Unless you want to give us the money.
Somebody pledged $100 during the select board meeting.
Did they?
Steve got a text
Wow,
that somebody
That's right.
pledged $100
nice.
What that was for the
for the logo.
for the town seal.
The town
Right.
seal, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for the $5,000.
$5,000 to do that. Yeah.
Well, only $49 $900 short. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're getting off topic, but yeah. Okay. Anything else on the signage? I think. All right. Town newsletter.
Really deep this month. Wow.
Very deep one, but good.
Yeah,
That was good.
really nice. Yay.
Yay, Labor.
Yay. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, this month was much longer. I felt a little bad because it was Chris's first month jumping on the emails. Kate, I always feel bad because she gets copied on like 50,000 emails in addition to all of her other emails. But this month we had more new groups submitting. Do I sound okay? You guys can hear me?
You're very loud. That's the problem. Is that we're scrambling to find the clicker to turn it down.
I can
You're
whisper.
crystal clear though, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
You're totally right. It's on us.
Okay.
Really basic.
Yeah, so it was just a longer issue, and just like more assembly required. So I don't have too many more thoughts on the newsletter, but I did want to share. I meant to email Kate and Joanne from HR and let everybody know that, we're always looking at the numbers of, who's reading the newsletter and also the links that people are interested in. And this month, there were 2 links that were extremely popular. One was the Tagil survey, and the other was the jobs link, which was the first time Joanne had suggested just advertising the job listings, and it was the most popular link. So it's something we should definitely do, especially if there's a bunch of jobs like there were at the beginning of the month.
Do we want to
That's
add committees to that?
I think we have the volunteers in there too, right? I remember seeing that, the volunteer link
Is there a link for committee members? Yeah.
for the volunteer page. Yeah.
It's not. We haven't separated that out, so that could be something we do. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll write it down.
I thought I could be wrong. I mean, it was a lot of stuff, but I thought we had the volunteers in there as well. But like, yeah, I think that's if that's
possible.
on there, we should
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
job. Really nice.
Yeah, very well done.
Yeah, and I'll say that jumping into the process, while there are a lot of emails that came through, Allegra made it very easy and organized in the end. I think it's a lot of legwork that you did personally. And so like putting together the email wasn't too hard. And I was able to even try out a couple different layouts for a couple different sections that I think helped both like shorten the email, but make it a little more dynamic, made it a little more, so it's just not constant waterfall of text, and we're going to try out, there are a couple different things that I'm going to try out for like banners and signage to improve in the templates, just to make it even easier going forward.
You're
So-
still okay doing this, huh?
Yeah, like I put together emails. I put one together today for work and stuff like that. So like I do it.
I'm good at it.
Yeah, it's getting better at it as time goes. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I don't mind.
I'll also add from my side it's a very good compliment to what I'm doing because I usually don't have that much left to me by the time it's in the layout. And so, I've put more of my effort into like correspondence and outreach and stuff like that. And so it's nice to have you take a second look at the things that I don't want to take a second look at anymore.
If that's how the teamwork goes, like that, I'm fine with that because I don't want to email back and forth with people and get corrections and things. That's what I don't like doing. So I'll do the layout all day long.
Sounds great.
Yeah, actually, I was in the graphics department at the UMass newspaper, so that's what I did every single night. So I have a history of it.
Hanging out there in the campus center, were you?
To 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yep. Working with Turley. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Any other questions, comments, other things? Cool. Keep moving. Belchertown.org. I don't have anything to add.
I don't have anything to add.
Cool.
Trying to get the color thing on.
Still trying to get the color thing up.
Yeah. It's just kind of a placeholder until that's done. Branding committee updates. You probably have the most updated information. I missed the last meeting.
Sure. So we had a branding committee meeting a couple weeks ago. a week ago, maybe. Week and a half ago.
Time.
Yeah, time is all over. Where the focus really was on the portion of the charge which focuses around the digitization of the town seal and what that involves. There was a lot of heated debate over how to go forward, because one of the things that the branding committee had said is we weren't going to spend any taxpayer money on this because we have this ARPA grant to do it. Plenty of people put a lot of effort into it, and we just weren't able to go forward with what we had. And the committee took a vote, and granted, we didn't have, full committee membership there, but it was a 3-1-1 vote to go back to the select board and ask them to authorize spending money in order to work with a professional who, this is what they do. They digitize town seals. This is their passion, their mission. It's going to be great if we go that way. So Monday, Nate met with the select board. I joined her for moral support, and basically presented it to him and was like, you could have it done quickly, but it's going to cost money, or you can keep kicking the can down the road, and eventually it may cost money. And how do you want to go forward with this? Terry was able to look at CPC grants that she already had booked for this year, and she was going to talk to the CPC to see if she could rearrange some of her funding to pay for that digitization of the seal. As Ed alluded to earlier during that meeting, Steve got a text message from somebody saying, I'll give you guys $100 towards the cause. So now we're looking into maybe privately fundraising for it. So the branding committee has a meeting tomorrow morning at 11, and we're going to hear from Terry what she was able to determine, or see if we have to set up this fundraising arm in order to get this done.
But she has, what do I want to say, a seal that she likes.
So,
and a person who did that seal that she would like to use.
Yeah, so she likes the way that it was done in Wayland. They digitized their seal recently. The committee also agrees that Wayland did a fantastic job with getting the seal digitized. We like that company that did that. We have a quote from them, or she has a quote from them for about $5,000 to do it. So now it's a matter of finding the money and getting that done.
Sounds like the can could be near the end of the road.
We are so close. Yeah.
And then we talked today about, we do have some grant money that Maud had set aside for kind of rolling out some branding stuff. So we're going to go ahead and start getting some basic stationery on order with just the town logo on it, some thank you cards and stuff like that too, because they're going to need those materials after the UMass meeting.
Do we have stickers made?
We don't have any stickers made yet.
Yeah. Let me know when we do.
I'll let you know when I do.
Right there. Right on my computer for
you and everybody else.
No.
Just one? You might want a whole bunch of them there. You guys put a lot of work in that.
Yeah. Any questions, comments, other on that one? We're almost done, and it is 7:15. So, yeah.
I have a question. Just because I'm looking at you, Chris, and the town seal's behind you. Do we still get to keep that seal, or do the old seals go away?
I would assume things like this are probably going to stick around for a while. It'll be a long time before these get replaced. It would be nice if they all got replaced and changed to match the current one. But I'm not going to be that picky about it, right? It's all the same symbolism, and that's what we're going for. That's the key thing to it.
You can use the same money you're going to use to make all the signs in town.
Yeah, which is none.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so any of the digital versions, right? We made it clear in previous meetings and at the select board meeting that there's 10 or 12 digital versions kicking around that everybody just swaps in and out with whatever they feel is appropriate at the time.
Yeah.
That's part of this is eliminating all of those, trying to get rid of them all, and replacing them with an accurate town seal. So that's that's the idea. Is that the digital ones are all going to get swapped out. So, there. Anything else? All right. Next, issue 13. Statement from the Communications Committee officially requesting the Select Board to set a policy around third-party information to be shared on the town's website and Facebook feed.
So I had a to-do on that, which was to reach out to the folks in Greenfield and South Hadley and basically ask them for information about what their policy is. I've been extremely busy, that those emails were sent, but not within enough time to be like, they haven't gotten back to me yet, so.
Okay. All right.
So just keep it for the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just in case, anybody have comments, questions on that?
Just saying that I meant to help Kate think through this because there's relevant things we've been thinking through with the newsletter. So Kate, I'll get in touch now. Next week will be better.
Yeah, why don't you send me an email and we'll look to get together sometime Wednesday or later.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. Esther, your part, BCTV manager update.
Yeah, I tried to do a lot of talking last meeting. I remember one thing that I left out. Oh, it's so weird. It's echoing from the room.
Oh, we can try to mute that.
Yeah,
Mute herself.
Give it a shot. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk. So I have been, there's been some really exciting meetings with other station managers in the area, talking about how we can share resources and generally just the changing nature of what we're doing and how best to do it. And coming out of that, I was able to meet one of our close neighbors, which is the Granby station manager. And we've been talking about how we can start more sports programming, working together. And the first step of that is we're looking for somebody who would really want to manage the all the games, all the scheduling, all the teams, who like really love sports, because neither of us is that person. So we're on the hunt for that. And then we're going to start looking for joint grants to see what we can come up with to start a program that's kind of running itself. Because it seems like, based on what our stations have done and our neighbors, it's like past a certain amount of small, you just kind of can't succeed if it's just one of the many, many things that you're doing. It's full time, especially as you add more teams. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I think that's it.
So just a quick suggestion with the sports programming, which I think is great, as a high school athlete parent, there's usually somebody from the team already filming the game. So what you're going to want to do is look into reaching out to the people on the different teams, whether it's the coaches or the Boosters Association or somebody. And I know that legwork sucks, but maybe, hopefully you can find an intern to send these bulk emails for you. But there's already somebody already filming them. So work on making those relationships. And that might do a lot of the work for you.
Are they doing any game commenting?
They don't do the game commenting, but they are filming the games. And there's actually a new station out now that is highlighting high school sports games. And that's like all they do.
What do you mean by station?
Yeah.
What do you mean by station?
It's just a cable station or internet cable station. All they do is local high school sports. So I can forward you that information too.
No, I know about what you're talking about. It's a loaded issue that
for sure. But I just was thinking, because you already have people up in the crow's nest at the different games, or right on the sidelines and what have you, or behind home plate that are filming these things that may already be able to help you with that.
Exactly. And so we're hoping that if we combine resources, we can find someone who can spend most of their time with the work that they're doing, reaching out to those people, going to the games, figuring all that out. Because as it stands, like, it's a full-time job. Yeah.
Esther, are you talking all sports like baseball, soccer, football?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the word we kept returning to is volunteer coordinator. So exactly, coordinating the people who are filming the games, looking for more people. There's an interest. We are just not directly connected to it. And we know there are people out there who are.
There's a band boosters. Isn't there a VHS sports boosters?
Not cover your mouth when you're,
Huh?
so the audio can pick you up. You're covering your mouth.
Oh, sorry. Isn't there also a VHS sports booster club?
There always has been.
We were wondering that.
Yeah, there should be.
They
Mhm.
certainly always.
And you can also reach out to like maybe the athletic directors at the schools. That might be a good place for
Totally.
to start.
That was definitely something that, like, moving here, like, I grew up in South Deerfield, and like sports was a big deal, right? It's and like there was always like a parent or two that like was running a camera, and that was what they were going to use for the game films and the highlight reels, and send it off to the news station and stuff like that. So you know, I definitely think this is a wonderful idea, and that as soon as the ball starts to roll, I think you're going to find a lot of parents who are going to be like, yeah, I could totally be the person that does that. Yeah, but I think it's coordinating them. That's for sure.
It's coordinating them, and also like if you talk to Kyle, like there's a lot of people who are interested, but you also have to have some sort of structure to keep the churn going, because once your kid's not in the sport anymore, you got to find somebody else, and you got to see what people are actually committed to doing.
And that's the coaches, because the coaches are the ones that are dedicated to getting the game footage to review with their players.
Yeah.
So the coaches are going to know who they're identifying that's going to be taking that film.
I would say most football teams have someone on the football team whose job it is to go up there and tape the game, right?
Yeah.
If they're picking up the commentation or the commenter from the PA system, then you get the whole thing. When BCTV went back in the day, you know, we had a couple volunteers who were willing to do it, but when their son graduated, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, but like FCAT over in Frontier, they have a robust, awesome sports program going on where they've got a regular stream of interns that are coming in. People are excited to do announcing, and the more excitement there is, the more funding you can get to keep it going.
Mass has some people coming up as graduating to sports that might be interested in doing it.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Yes, there's a sports team or a sports major, and you know that everybody wants. Everybody wants to be a commentator.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess let us know if there's anything that we could do to help get the word out, to help organize this. I think this is a wonderful idea. You're finding that individual person to work across all sports, and you know, not just volleyball, not just football, not just soccer, but like have them, you know, covering everything, or not covering themselves, but coordinating. Yeah, let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
And what we can do.
Great idea.
We're looking for grants.
Always.
Any other noteworthy things from your side?
Not since last week, I don't think. I've mentioned them.
Okay, cool. Anybody have questions for Esther?
So I don't know if this is the appropriate place. I'm just going to say we're covering a lot of things this weekend for BCTV. The Quabbin Days, the firefighters are having an open house, Soars on the Common.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, what?
I said indeed. Yeah, it's a busy weekend. There's 12 days.
So what I'm trying to say is BCTV is trying to cover as many community events as they can, and I don't know if this is the appropriate place to let the world know, but It'll show up on Facebook, it'll show up on YouTube.
Good,
Excellent.
thank you.
And I'd say this is the appropriate time. Yeah.
Mhm.
BCTV update. How are you guys doing for volunteers? I know that's always a constant thing of between our regular committees and you guys. How's that going?
I mean, good. Trying to set things up. I coordinating volunteers is something that will come more further on.
5 people right now who do specific things. Some of them cover certain shows, but they're there.
Yeah, and they're staff.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Gotcha. Well, again, if you need us to come up with ideas for how to get you volunteers, stuff like that, and get the word out, then let us know. Your success is our success, right?
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of volunteers, have you spoken to Joanne about seeing about getting volunteers for the senior tax work-off program?
Not yet. Again, I would need to have a plan for what they're gonna do.
It can be really loose. And even if you just like kind of talk to her about like what your needs are, she can help you kind of massage that too.
Sure.
You're going to coordinate a sport, what the heck? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything else? No? Comms manager update.
It's been busy, ridiculously busy. We are moving and shaking. There are so many. I've written more press releases in the last 2 weeks than I think I have in the last 9 months. Just so much stuff coming out. So many grants that have been approved, so much money coming in, obviously the Pathfinder thing, like it's a little thing, right? It's a huge, big deal that Pathfinder's coming to Cold Spring. We're gonna have our own press release coming out about that, kind of the town's message about it coming out tomorrow. Just got the last kind of approvals on that, but also, we had the event earlier today at Arc Point with the Amherst Chamber of Commerce cohort for 2025, the inductees for that, just lots of moving pieces. I do have a volunteer currently working with us through the program, and she has been going out and canvassing the community, getting people to sign up for our emergency communications plan. So she has been at the senior center when they had their open house.
Yeah.
She attended farmers market. She was at the town fair. She's going to be spending some time setting up outside Tractor Supply and Stop and Shop. She's been looking on our website to see what kind of events are coming up. She's just out there, working it with the business cards and getting people to sign up. It's been huge. Super appreciate her efforts on that. Appreciate all of you guys helping too with the open houses at the schools and getting word out there. We're up over 600 people now.
Wow.
So things are really starting to gain some great momentum there. Later this month, I am hosting a training over at the Wilbraham Regional Dispatch, where I'm going to be training the folks there because they're part of our emergency team, as well as members of the Belchertown Police and Fire Department. Ed's going to be joining us too, and we're going to kind of go over and do a training about how the system works and get everybody comfortable with it. Getting a lot of messaging out around the special town meeting. The rec center is offering their childcare again. The senior center is offering vans to transport people. So combining those messages, that's going to be a press release going out in next week's Sentinel as well. Sent things over to Esther to get up on BCTV about those, lots of save the dates. We're hoping that the warrants will be done tomorrow, so there'll be messaging about that coming out real soon too. So just go, 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 go until you can't go anymore.
For 19 and a half hours a week.
Just 19, not the half, just the 19.
I was going to say the local papers must be thrilled to have all the press releases coming out because, well, like a year ago we weren't announcing things; they had to come to us, and figure this stuff out. So it must be thrilled.
Yeah, and then like I said, outreach. with different committees and starting to look at better ways of supporting them, but also helping them support themselves and working on getting their message out to people. Controlling those narratives and making sure people are aware of these different committees and commissions and getting more people involved.
Is there anything we can do to help out with that?
I don't think so at this point.
Okay.
I think if there was, I would definitely.
Yeah, you let us know. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say your volunteer was at the food farmers market, and she was really working the crowd. She's not just standing passively by; she's out there.
She is. She's a hiker. She's super active.
Yeah.
She cracks me up. She's wonderful to work with. And then I did talk to Joanne about a volunteer for the next cycle, because the next cycle is coming up. And something that we are seriously lacking in town is a photo library of all of our assets. Like, we don't have a picture of the front of the rec center. Who would have thought? But we don't have one. We don't have a good picture of the inside of this room. So my request going into next year is a volunteer that can work through a list of all the assets that we have, whether they're indoors or outdoors, and putting that whole photo library together of all of our places and things.
Sounds like a student project.
Be a lot of projects.
Yeah.
I've got a number of those. I'll send them to you.
Of course you do. Because whenever I need a photo, I'm like, hey, Ed.
No, that's great. That was something that I used to, again, going back to my collegiate days at UMass, the photo guys would be sitting around with nothing to do, and I'd be like, just go take photos of all the buildings.
Really?
Just the front of every building, get a big shot of every building, get a landscape, get a vertical, so that we could fit them in the paper. Just get all the buildings and create a giant record of every building on campus, because I'm sure at some point, if either the administration finds out and they'll be happy to have them,
Okay.
right, or God forbid a building gets torn down or burns down, we'd have a before the fire photo and an after the fire photo. Or if it gets torn down and years later somebody wants to remember what it was, or the former spot of this, we have a photo of it, right? Like it's
Cottage C is being destroyed.
Yep. So
For
it's
those of you who were UMass. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of new dirt over there, as they call it, But the same thing for the town, like all the different buildings and stuff like that. It's worth having
For sure.
all of those photos, even some of the more historical buildings. Like who knows when, one of the homes that's historical lights up or gets hit in the side with a car, goes down,
Major modifications done to it. Yeah.
Right. Then we'll at least have those records.
Yep.
So excellent idea. All for it. I would volunteer my time, but I have 2 children, and
They don't take photos.
and they don't take photos. No, but they just I have no spare time.
No, I'm
This and-
excited to get something like that in the works and to have that library that anybody can access.
Yeah.
Because they're things people need, and it shouldn't be so hard to find a simple photo of the outside of a building.
And now, would that be something that we could add to the website?
So I don't know if we would want to add it to the website or look at opening like a Flickr account.
It's a lot, so it'd be heavy.
Yeah, it would be heavy, but if you put it on like a Flickr or another photo file sharing service, then people would have them. But then, it comes down to the money. So, let's
Right,
get the
pay
photos
for it,
first
yeah.
and kind of take it from there.
Okay. Cool. Anything else?
I'm all set unless you guys have any questions for me.
Anyone online? Nope. Additional items for discussion. There was something.
There is something. You have an email. You said, don't let me forget to talk about this because
And
it
here
is
I am.
brand smack new.
And there he was forgetting it.
And what was it?
MMA contest entries due October 31st.
It's the MMA thing that I talked to you about.
The MMA thing. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, well, you guys might have more. You've done more research than I. You just told me about it, and I said, yes, this is a wonderful idea.
There's an award that MMA does, municipal innovations. And the short of it is if you're doing good stuff that's innovative, put in for an award. And my suggestion was communications. In the past year, we've just done so much, between Kate and Esther coming on board, the website, social media. I mean, the list is pretty endless. So I was thinking we would be a good candidate for it. Now, so we get the application form, and it's not an onerous application form. And I think we would be a very good candidate for it.
Did we get one a couple of years ago?
For innovation?
No, some sort of.
We got an
We got one
award
for the
for our
website.
website.
The website. Award.
Yeah, and I had mentioned too that we're one of 4 municipalities in the Commonwealth that has a communications committee, and we are probably the most robust out of all of them. And not to, fluff our feathers or anything, but I think just putting that out there and being like, look at how innovative the town was, the committee was. They came up with this committee, and look at all of these amazing things they did in this last year.
Mm-hmm. I, for one, think it's a wonderful idea.
Is Ed volunteering to do it?
I am.
Ed is volunteering to do it. Anybody want to help Ed do it?
I wouldn't mind taking a look at it after he puts it all together.
I mean, I think we should all take a look at it, but yeah.
I mean, we're going to have to move quickly on it too. It's due on the 31st. So,
Correct.
I mean, I'm glad to circulate it around,
Yep.
but yeah, comments kind of have to come back quickly.
Yeah, I think this is something that we just push it through. I don't know if we have to vote on that, but
I mean,
I think we
Steve
can't vote
does
on
have
it
to
tonight.
sign off on it. It requires his signature but I'm sure he won't have a problem with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
If an email went to each individual for comment as opposed to a group, would that be something
yes, we do that.
if necessary?
For
Just throw it
quick
out
review, yes, yeah. Yeah, let's, I mean, I can't decide for the committee. I think it's a wonderful idea. I think, we should probably just go forward with this. We will vote it on it next time if need be, but I think, yeah, that's probably the right way to do it. See what you got.
well, the biggest
Take
thing
a vote. Are we okay with doing this? Of course, it's going to give us recognition.
I mean, the heavy lift is writing it. We can work all this other crap out.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
I'm always
thank
looking
you
for more work to do.
Apparently.
Now that he's retired.
Yeah. Yeah. I think thank you for bringing it to my attention. Thank you for volunteering to do it. Let's see where this goes. Yeah. Always like another award and more recognition.
We can hang it up in our office.
That's right. That's what'll go right here instead, is the award for the communications committee.
The website one's hanging in our office right there,
That's right. We do have that one up there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any other random emergency things that came up in the last few days? This email came up this morning? Today? Yeah.
Yesterday.
Okay. In that case, let's talk next meeting time. It would be the 23rd, being the 4th Thursday of October. People okay with 6:30 again? I think that's where we're good. People online? 6:30? Yep, I'm getting dead nods.
You need verbals or just nods good enough?
We're not taking an actual vote here. Nods are good enough, I think. Scheduling is
Thank you.
Yep. So yeah, let's do it then. October 23rd at 6:30 p.m. I think we will.
In some room.
Yeah.
Should be in the planning.
Should be in the planning room.
We have the planning board scheduled regularly. Melissa just said this week that we meet here.
Yep. The planning board meeting room will have already has a brand new TV and some other nice stuff in it. So
Nice.
next time we're in there, we'll check it out. Yeah. Otherwise,
Motion
that's
to
it.
adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
That has
We have to
verbal.
do.
Yeah,
Yep.
verbal.
Ed,
Aye.
Lou.
Aye.
Allegra.
Hi.
I as well. That's everyone. That's
7:41, an hour early.
7:41. Yep.
Wow.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.